Hey everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie Bay Crochet. Sorry for that delay. I'm going to blame this one on Google because I had pushed the button and I was getting the spinning circle of death. So you know what I'm talking about there. I'm going to go ahead and move my lighting a little bit. I did a little reorganizing when I got back to my room. Well, it's so good to be back with you all. I missed you last week. I wish you could have been where I was because you would have been able to lend a helping hand. Um, as many of you know, we lost my mother-in-law back at the end of gosh, June. It just seems like it was yesterday, but we are now blessed with the task of dealing with a house and a house full of wonderful belongings. And so the first truckload was loaded, and we brought it back and trying to disseminate that throughout the house, and hold it in storage for our kids. So lots going on here. Lots of exhaustion. You could probably see it in my eyes. I mean, just a lot going on, and we've got a lot of family coming into town today, which is going to be great, for a little birthday party for one of our little guys, one of our grandchildren. So we're really excited. But I definitely had to come visit with you all. I've got some fun things to show you, some fun things to talk about. But let me just go ahead and just dive right on just into the chat. Let me go ahead and I'm reading this from the live chat. That's the order that it's coming into me. So if you see me skip around, that's probably why. Well, good morning, Brat's mom. It's good to see you in the chat. She says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, Becky, and all my dear yarnies from crazy weather, Southwest Chicago suburbs. Yep, it is the summer still. Says, we never know if we will fly away via tornado or if we will have to hire Noah and his ark. Well, hopefully neither. Linda, I hope you guys can stay safe. Yeah, the summer weather has been a little strange. Um, as usual, I guess. I do have a story regarding that. I don't know if I told this story the last time I was live or not. I don't think so because I think this happened in the past, like a week and a half ago. We had a storm move through our area, and we heard a big clap of lightning, and it sounded like it was like in our front yard. Maybe I have told this story, but I'll just tell it again since I've already started it. Anyway, beautiful house that I've always admired, and the house is gone. Lightning struck the house. The house started burning up top, which was below where the smoke detectors were in the home, and it continued to smolder, I guess, and burn. And then about 7 a.m., the fire department was alerted. This happened like early in the morning, a couple hours before the family even knew the house was on fire. And anyway, the house is a total loss. It completely burned to the ground. This is just, like I say, half a mile from where we are. And I know what it's like to be in a house. You've heard those stories. When I was with my mother-in-law in South Carolina, and lightning struck the chimney and exploded it. I mean, bricks went probably 50 yards in all directions, and it was pretty spectacular. But thankfully, no fire. So, anyway, kind of fun, interesting stuff going on. But definitely stay safe. You never know. You never know. Angie, good morning to you. And Phil says, good day, everyone. Left this home this morning here in New York State, headed to Mississippi. And today I have questions. All right, Phil. So I learned about a thing. This is Phil again. Called interlocking crochet. I'm guessing it is where you make different patterns on each side of the project and they are joined together in the back. Is that correct? I think there are different ways of doing it, Phil. I am honestly not an expert on that. I would just refer you to some of your more trusted, teachers online who specialize in that. I think the crochet architect, Susan Lohman, I know she does mosaic, and she may have done some interlocking crochet as well. So, just, find out, who your favorites are online that you enjoy watching and see what they have on that. I have not done much of it simply because it's just not, I don't know. I guess it's just not something that I'm interested in right now. Um, Yeah, and so many other people out there are doing it so well, and, I just wanna refer you to them. But I hope you find, what you're looking for. I think it's a really good way to use up your scraps if you're looking for that. I know you end up with a lot of squares and going different directions, and I've seen it done both in knit and in, crochet. And we have Jane with us, I believe, says, "Kind quest." Okay, great to have you with us. And Miss Wanda says, "Good morning, Miss Bonnie and everyone. I'm so glad that you're here." And Hannah's sending me a report from Red Hook. Says, "Hello, everyone. Good news. My doctor said that my leg has healed nicely. Yay. I'm walking hard on, I'm working, I'm sorry, my eyes are betraying me. I'm working hard on walking again and will go back to work in September." Well, praise the Lord. I am so glad that you're feeling better. Um, that's got to be really, really, really hard. I'm still dealing with some knee issues myself, and although nothing like a broken leg, which you went through, it's just it kind of holds you back from what you want to do sometimes, and that can be kind of hard. But I'm glad you're on the mend and healing so well. Um, let's see, and yeah, glad to have you here, Wanda. And Grammy Rita says, "Hello, everyone. Another beautiful day in which I will rejoice and be glad in it." Yes, ma'am. And another Bonnie, fun name, isn't it? "Hello, everyone. Repairing and sewing a big hole in a cotton crochet blanket. My border collie chewed a hole in it." She says, "Sigh, oh, sigh." And your dog is still with us, so that's good for your dog. Oh, that would be so hard. Um, and let's see. A Breast Mom says, "Hi again, Bonnie and all. Please, friends, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button." Thank you so much for that. And I love the way you guys greet each other. And Bonnie says, "Hi, Bonnie from PA." Well, hello. I hope you are. I hope you have Pittsburgh on your radar. If you're in Pittsburgh, Bonnie, or even near there, let me go ahead and just dive into that and get it out of the way, my newsy things. Um, there are still seats available in 4 of the 5 classes. I think one of them has filled. I'm not sure. Let's see which one. I'm not sure which one filled, but anyway, I'm going to be teaching at Stitchburg, which is outside of Pittsburgh in Mars, PA, and that's next weekend. So I won't be able to do the Friday Fun live because I will be meeting with some of you in person, yay, in Pittsburgh, or just outside in Mars, yeah, outside anyway. I say that because it is near the greater Pittsburgh area. But what's nice about it is you're not having to find parking in the city. You're outside the city at a hotel, easy parking. I'm understanding that it's a nicer hotel than has been in the past. So that is a good sign that it's been upgraded. There are going to be uh, a lot of vendors there, a lot of people selling the things that you love, yarn, cloth, all sorts of things. Um, in fact, there's a waiting list for vendors. So many people were interested in this. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the listing of the classes I'll be teaching. But if you're not interested in these, still check it out because there are other classes you might be interested in. Quilting classes, or it's not just crochet. They do knitting, there's spinning, all sorts of things. It really is truly a creative arts festival, with a strong dominance of yarn. But anyway, so August 21st, that's next Friday. Gee whiz, a week from today. I'll be teaching multiple ways to crochet ribbing at 10:15 in the morning. And then in the afternoon on Friday, introduction to reading crochet patterns and stitch diagrams. I promise you it's not going to be that hard. And I'm hoping it'll be the key that'll open up a whole world to you all if you still don't know how to read patterns. There's not a problem if you can't read patterns. It's much easier than you think. That's just what I'll say about that. Saturday is going to be a packed day for me, and I'm looking forward to it. I just hope I have the stamina. August 22nd, On Saturday, I'll be teaching beginning knitting for crocheters. This is for the early birds. It's going to be 8 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you bring your coffee or your diet Pepsi or whatever you need to keep you awake in the morning. Make sure you bring it along with you. So we're going to learn how to knit. And I think you're going to find that it's not as hard as many of us thought it would be. I tried that for many years without success. And then between, I don't know, 7 to 10 years ago, or it's been 10 years already. It's been a while. I was able to pick it up very quickly from a friend who showed me how to do the continental style of knitting. So if you've not knit before, please join me there. I also have classes. I also have videos on my channel because people have asked me, well, what if I can't make it to Pittsburgh? I have videos on my channel. You have to go to the playlist and look for the playlist that has beginning knitting. And any of those projects will demonstrate for you what you need. I highly recommend that if you start big, start with larger hooks, maybe size 13 and up, 13, 14, 15, around in there, and use thick yarn. And that's a good way to have a lot of success quickly. And that'll encourage you to try something maybe, smaller. And that's pretty much what I've done on my knitting journey. I'm also going to be teaching Celtic Weave and Beyond at 11:45 next Saturday, and then crocheting the Saxon cable at 3:30 in the afternoon. There is going to be, like I said, a vibrant yarn market there. There are going to be some yarn trucks outside. Some people have these portable stores, which I think is really cool. And they've been there every year. So there are going to be probably at least 2 or 3 of those as well outside. So lots going on. And today, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot with the county fair, but today, the Montgomery County Fair in my area in Gaithersburg, Maryland, starts. Well, yeah, the ride's open today, but yesterday and today are the days where you bring your entries to be judged. And yeah, so if you are in Montgomery County and you're planning on doing that, today's the last day, I believe, that you can bring things to the Home Arts Building. Tomorrow, the Home Arts Building will be closed to the public and everything will be judged. I'm not going to be able to partake of that. Somebody else is going, the crochet chairperson is going to be the one, I think, selecting the designs for the Bonnie Bay Crochet Awards. I do give 2 special awards, one for the best youth entry, because I want to encourage that. And then the second is for the best original design in crochet. So yeah, if you're in the area, submit. And if you're 18 or under, make sure that that is indicated on your entry tag. It's a secret kind of a ballot thing where the judges don't know whom crocheted these things before, when they're being judged. But if you have a number circled on the tag, or they have some system like that to indicate something made by a child, please be sure that you indicate that so that you'll be considered for my award, because my award has a monetary gift attached to it and it's not insignificant. So you'll want to do that. All right. And for those of you who maybe your fair doesn't come till later in the fall, you can, and if you're never done this, you can check out this booklet that I wrote several years back. It kind of encourages you as to what to expect. Of course, every fair is a little different. The way it's run can oftentimes vary. Some are very large, like the one that I have been participating with. Some may be very small. So it will tend to vary. It's not going to be exactly what I write in this book, but I do go into a lot of detail, including a judging sheet, how to best prepare your projects for the fair, and just the things that the judges, I have a whole sheet in here, judging sheet of what the judges are going to look for. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please check it out. I promise you will meet other people there that have similar passions. It's worth getting involved. Even if you just go to volunteer the first time and just to, check it out. All my family has done this. And in fact, I mentioned a couple broadcasts ago, they sent me my 100 hours. I was not keeping up with that as well as I probably could have. But I have a little certificate now, and I have free admittance and free parking, which is kind of a nice perk. Took a long time to get there, but and that was not my goal, but it's nice now that I don't have to pay to get in, so I can go view all the projects. And I will be trying to make a video as soon as I can, once I get a chance, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, to go to the fair and take a look at how the crochet entries went. All right. Well, let me see. Hannah has sent me a question. Okay, another question from Phil. Second question, he says, tapered versus inline hooks, which produces more beautiful stitches, or is that more up to the person rather than the tool used? I am a team tapered, but I can be influenced. Phil, if you're happy with the tapered hooks, then that's where you should go. I do talk a lot about that in the video, and there is a video. I'm gonna go ahead and Phil has given me all the lead-ins today. What I did online recently is I found 3 sets of beautiful tapered hooks. I'll just take one of these. No, I can't. I'll take the whole thing. Here's another set. Beautiful hooks. All of them are, really. This is the least expensive. And then the most expensive comes in this vinyl. It's beautiful case. Oh, I just zipped it closed. Okay. All right. Okay. With wooden hooks, and these are all inline. And so Phil is asking. Let me see if I have a sample. Okay. So for those of you who are not familiar, let's see. Do I have a? I'm looking for a tapered hook to show you the difference. And wouldn't you know it? Do I have one up there? I do not. Well, anyway, a tapered hook is just a different style hook. But honestly, okay, this is an inline hook. And tapered hooks just tend to be a little skinnier when it gets up here. And here we go. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Can you see that? Do you see the one here? This is actually a larger. This one's actually a larger size. But you see how I'm trying to. Do you see how this tapers up right here? Just a little more narrow, and it's a little more rounded of a nose. Whereas this is an inline hook. It tends to be, if you can see that, tends to be more sharp here, and a little bit more at the top, and it throughout here does not change shape. It's not tapered. It's just inline. So these are 2 different styles. And to answer your question, it's whatever your muscle memory gets used to. It's as simple as that. It's like buying a pair of shoes is the way I like to think about it. Whatever you get comfortable with, that suits your needs. And I think what happens is your muscle memory will adjust to whatever you use the most. And for that reason, I cannot even use a tapered hook. I fumble it quite a bit. When I have an inline hook, I don't even have to look at what I'm doing, because my muscle memory just takes over, and it's good to go. So that doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It's just that whatever you prefer, stick with that. That's what I would recommend. And plus, I have a couple of videos on this with more detail, but plus you have people like me use a knife hold, I just use it like this, or other people use a pencil hold. And so that's just a complete different motion with the wrist and the hand and everything. I personally think that the knife hold has less motion, but then again, it's whatever you can do the best. So, and because you like tapered hooks, I think you're in really good company, because I see the most beautiful hooks out there on the market are tapered. The squishy, nice hook, the handles and everything, just most of them are tapered, which is why I've not been able to use them. Because these other companies came up with some really nice inline hooks for a change, which is why I went ahead and, purchased them and, hey, let's give them a try. And for the record, um, I have another video. I don't think long time ago, I evaluated a set like this. And these are, let me look at these. These are weird. I don't ever use these because they're kind of in line up here, but you see this, how the shaft gets bigger and bigger as it goes down. And I think that was so that all of them will fit into this nice little handle, which is gorgeous. But I don't use this because I don't trust the gauge on it because of that widening of the shaft will change your gauge. So beautiful set. If you use that only all the time, you could be fine. Here's another set by Knit Pro. I really do like these, but because of the cost, I'm afraid to use them. I'm afraid I'm going to lose them. But these are walnut handles, and these are beautiful. There's no widening of the shaft. These are all in line. I don't even know if they sell these anymore. These are like, I think like $120 for a set. I mean, it's an impressive set. Walnut handles are beautiful, and they crochet. I can crochet with these pretty well. They feel really nice. I just don't want to lose them, so I keep them in a safe place at home, which is probably not a good idea. But I should just take them out and use them. But yes, lots of options. I was just intrigued again that they had a set that was in line and not another tapered set. That doesn't serve me personally, but I know that those can serve you guys who are of the tapered set, and that's okay. So yeah, and I have gone on and on about that, but thank you, Phil. That was a good question because I did want to talk about the hooks. Update from Linda Harris. I haven't been here in a while. We lost our mother back in April on Good Friday. Been a lot going on. We're going through mother's things and going to take them to the hospice store. They were so good to her. I am so sorry to hear about your loss, Linda. We're just a couple months behind you with my husband's mother, and the hospice experience and everything, which was actually a blessing. It was a very good experience, better than the hospital even. But I'm so sorry for your loss, and I do hope just take it slow and take your time that you need to grieve, because the grieving is real. I know the rest of the world, as you know, the rest of the world, everybody else moves on, and then we kind of feel stuck processing it. But take the time that you need, and there's grace for that, lots and lots of grace. And Sever Angel wants to know if I am going to be at the PEI festival this year. No, I'm sorry, I won't be there this year. I did have a wonderful time last year. It was kind of like a trip of a lifetime for my husband and I to drive up the Northeast coast like that, up into Canada and over through New Brunswick and Nova Scotia and on to PEI. That was a lot of fun. But no, not this year. But we are going to be. One of the main reason is I've been invited to teach at the Yarny Social in Boise, so I'm really excited about that. Boise, Idaho. We've got our tickets. My daughter and administrator and moderator Hannah is coming with me, and my husband as well. So we're looking forward to that. I would love to go back to PEI sometime. The classes didn't fill like we hoped they would. I'm not sure what happened there. So I don't know. Maybe it's just that the people up in Canada are more looking for locals from Canada. So I know it was not a very profitable thing for them to hire me. But sometimes that happens. Uh, but I had a wonderful time, and I just really loved communicating with the students. If I don't have a huge class, I'm fine with that because that just means more one-on-one time with everybody in the class, and that's actually my preference. Um, but anyway, and DL Crisp says she likes my earrings. Thank you. These came from my daughter-in-law Molly and my son Hudson. Um, so I was really glad for that. And from Ola Joe says, Bonnie, did you see me at Bucky's in Florence? I did see that online. I thought about you, got busy, and forgot to email you. Yeah, I did see that. That is cool. We didn't go that way this last trip simply because I-95, let's see if I can do this right. I-95, kind of goes up along the coast. Florence is about an hour, would have been an hour out of our way, which is where the Bucky's is near us. But we found out that they're building a new Bucky's. For those of you who travel I-95 a lot, I think it's south of Richmond. I think it's just south or north. I can't remember which, but I saw the big construction site. Bucky's is coming near Richmond, Virginia, and I'll definitely be stopping in that one because I have a daughter and her family who are going to be living in Richmond. So that'll be kind of fun. And we do have some out in Virginia when I travel to Lynchburg. So yeah, we're gonna get our fill of Bucky's. It's always a fun place to stop. I know it's for those of you who know what I'm talking about. It's a huge gas station. You either love it or you don't, and we kind of do. I think it's kind of a novelty, and the bathrooms are always super clean. You can get a good meal there, and they have snacks that are amazing. And it's just a fun time to get out of the car and stretch the legs and walk around a bit, and it's really great. Anyway, let me get back to the chat here. Whew, I can't believe it's been 30 minutes already. Everybody's saying hey to everybody. That's so cool. And Felicia waving at you. And is it girls just want to have flab? That's hilarious. Hello. That's creative. I'm not sure I want to have it, but I'm definitely in that club, and I'm okay with that. And Kendall Price says, hi, Bonnie and everyone just joining you from Wichita, Kansas. Welcome, Kendall. Great to have you. And DMS Arabia says, holy moly, I caught a live. Hello from Texas. Well, welcome. Welcome. You have a big festival going on right now. I believe the DFW, isn't the Dallas Fort Worth, isn't that going on today? I think, but I've been seeing it on my notifications quite a bit. I'm trying to find out where a bunch of things just loaded, and I realize how behind I am. Let's see. Okay, found where I was. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. It says sending you prayers for strength. I could use it. Thank you so much. And Paul's Lutely, Yarntastic Heidi says hello. Great name there. And Jet One In, good to have you in the chat. Looking forward to seeing you soon or a couple months. Yeah, the time is just flying by like I can't believe. And Yarny Socials, waving back at you. And it says, funny you should mention that, Phil. We're actually going to have an interlocking crochet class this year. Such a cool technique. Yes. I'm going to sit in on that one too. I'm going to be a spy in the back. I'm going to learn some of that stuff too. It's going to be fun to not have to always be the one teaching, but to actually sit in the learner's seat. And DL Crisp says, good morning from Southern Oregon. Glad you could join us. And Hannah, thank you for being there, welcoming everybody, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And good morning to you, Deborah. And Just Me says good morning. Well, good morning back. And Red Hooked. Yep, we read that. Yes, glad that is you're doing so well on that. And good morning to Janice and Linda and Deborah and Leslie. Good morning to all you all. Thank you, Phil. She says, I'm his favorite. Oh, That makes me feel good. But there's Phil, I'm talking again about the techniques. There are so many different wonderful crochet techniques, and um, I just felt like I needed to just gravitate and specialize, even though trying to do the beginning stuff too, so that people can have a good entry into this. But there's so many different ways you can go with the hook. It's amazing. And Sans Xander, good morning to you. She says good morning or morning blessings. And and about the dog that ate the quilt or ate the Afghan. Yes, Bonnie, the dog is a good boy, but gets crazy. Would love to come to Pittsburgh, but I'm not sure if I can make it. I would love to go. Well, it's tends to be there every year. I don't know that I'll be there every year, but it tends to be there every year. And I would just encourage anybody who's in the area to stop on in, even if you don't have. I understand it's expensive to travel. Gas isn't cheap. I'll be driving, which still cheaper than flying. And I understand it's not cheap to have an overnight at a hotel, but sometimes it's just, you can't put a price. Okay, I'm not trying to hard sell you on this, but maybe I am. Uh, you can't put a price on your mental health. And I will say it's cheaper than professional health. And when you travel to these places, I still remember the first time I went to one was a Crochet Guild of America conference in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was 2011. And that's the first time I'd been anywhere with that many people who crocheted, because I was always the oddball amongst, from second grade on in school, you know, I was always the weird one with the hook in her hand and the yarn. So, but to be in a room with all these people that have this passion for knitting and crocheting and the arts and the fiber arts was amazing. And I tried to do that every year since then, if I can. And it's just a super blessing to me to be able to make, to be paid to come and teach. I mean, that was kind of a dream for me to be able to get to that level. And I'm just so thankful to God that I can do that. But beyond the crafts are just meeting the people. Just the people are priceless. I mean, it's such a treasure to talk to a lot of these just ordinary people like you and me. I mean, just coming together with the love that we have for this. It's just it kind of fills my cup, as you say, till it overflows. I mean, not to get overly spiritual about it, but there is a connecting point with people, and it's just so all that to say, even if you let's say if you're near Pittsburgh, hop in the car and come. Even if you don't take a class, because I know the classes they can be a little more expensive for some people than others, but these are among the lowest cost classes, I think, in the industry. And that doesn't mean they're the worst classes. They're the same classes that you will pay 2 and 3 times for in other venues, because other venues tend to be more pricey. That's why I'm kind of pushing Pittsburgh, 'cause it's a great place. But even if you don't sign up for classes, I think it's $5 to get into the market, and it's an indoor air-conditioned market, and you will meet somebody in there that you can chat with, or, you know, share what you're wearing, or people are going to say, "Oh, I love what you're wearing," and you get into conversations very easily. And anyway, on and on. I could just talk all about that, but it's so much fun. I will try to make a video of from my perspective when I go, and see what we come up with. Um, and Randy wants to know, have you ever participated, visited one of the crochet and knit groups at your Montgomery County Rec Center? I did not know they had one there. No, I have not. Um, I'm not sure what is going. I think at one point I tried to sign up as a teacher or something. I don't think I ever heard back. But I have not. I have not. So if you have any information on that you can send me, please, I would be glad to look at it. And the information about Pittsburgh again. Okay, let me give you the dates. April, April, August, strike the April part. August 21st through the 23rd, and that's going to be at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Pittsburgh Cranberry. So I'll say that again, August 21st through the 23rd. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. DoubleTree by Hilton, Pittsburgh, Cranberry. Um, and I hope to see you guys there. If you are going to go, please email me, bonniebay@me.com. Maybe we can meet up. We are, this is just for really just for the group here. I'm not going to be announcing this in the classes or anything. But if you want to get together for supper on Friday night, email me. Okay. And where I can put you on an email list. I already have a couple folks that I'll be going out with. Actually, there'll be four of us, myself, Hannah, um, and a couple other ladies. And so if anybody wants to join that, email me, bonniebay@me.com. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to make any announcements at the festival. I'm not going to make any announcements in the class because I can't go out with 25 people. 'Cause I'm not that kind of person. I like it to be small. But if you're going, let me know if you want to go out. And when we go out, it might be like Olive Garden or a place like that. It's not going to be a place that breaks the bank. I promise you. So, and from somebody, SUELUPFER says, are you going to the premier meet and greet in North Carolina? I'm not sure even what that is. No, no, I haven't. Uh, I do some travel, but not that much, since I've been busy with elder care for so many years. But maybe next year, when I have opportunities, I might be able to sign up for a few more things since I don't have nearly the responsibility, and depending on what my stamina will allow me. Um, but let me tell you about one other thing, the Yarny Social. I'll be going out to, I mentioned this already when someone asked about PEI. I'm going to be going out to Boise, Idaho, October 22nd through the 24th. I'll be teaching broomstick lace, crochet cables for the faint of heart, and we're going to have a fun decorate your denim demo there. And if you have some denim, you can bring it along and we can do some decorating together. I think there are only a few tickets left for the entire event, but if you don't do that, there is also a yarn market, and you can look at the Yarny Social. There's a link in the video description, and you can look at the hours there for the yarn market. I think it's 12 to 5, but I could be wrong on that. But definitely check them out. And it's going to be at the Hilton Garden in Boise Spectrum. Okay. And you can check them out. And let's see what we got here. I got gone through. All right. Let me see. I am really behind, guys, on the chat. Sorry about that. Oh, Premier Yarn. Okay, the Premier Yarn meet and greet. No, I don't. I'm not really affiliated with any yarn companies per se directly anyway. So no, I did not know about that. But send me some information. I'd like to look at that. But not traveling anywhere this weekend. Thank goodness. We'll be traveling next weekend, and then the weekend after that for another grandson birthday party. So August is just boom, 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 and then comes September. And I think we have more traveling there too, but only again to help work on the house in South Carolina. Anyway, so now you know why I'm just so tired. Well, let me talk about something. I will get back to the chat. I may not get through everybody's chat during the live right now, but I will take a look at it afterwards if I don't make it through it all. I did have an interesting discussion on Facebook this past week, or maybe it's been about a week now. And I got an email from Michael's. I think you guys would get a kick out of this. And I loved everybody's responses. It was from Michael's referring to yarn hobbies as grandma core. And I guess I live in a bubble because my daughter-in-laws are like, "Oh, yeah, we've heard that term before, no problem." And I'm like, I have a problem with that. I don't I love being a grandma. It's a privilege and an honor and a blessing beyond, you know, beyond compare. But to just take a whole category dealing with yarn and plunk it down and call it grandma core, I started to think about that. I'm like, wait a minute. I started when I was 7 years old. And if you're trying to sell things that are yarny, why would you call it that? To me, to say something is a grandma art, or and again, I I'm a grandma. Okay. So I feel like I can speak into this. Um, it just doesn't sit right in my soul. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but um, I just thought maybe Michaels needed to go back and reevaluate the way they do marketing a little bit. And I just didn't find it a winsome term. I know some of you did, and I'm happy for you. I'm glad. And I'm not trying to be offended here. I'm trying real hard at first to understand it, but I'm thinking, well, like, how would Phil, how would you feel about doing something that, oh, that's a grandma core? I'm like, I mean, come on. This is it just, to me, it just kind of pigeonholes it. Um, and maybe even stigmatizes it a little bit to call it that. I never would have thought of calling it that. Anyway, I won't dwell on that too much, but I do have a post on Facebook where I do talk about this, and and you talk about it. We're talking with each other with our post, and I just loved a lot of the responses. It was very entertaining for me. It was a lot of fun to read. There's like, I don't know, over 197 responses, and I just thought this was fun. And the majority kind of felt the way I did. I don't know if that's because I was influencing that or not, but I'm glad some people felt freedom to say, well, I like the term, and that's great. I'm I don't. But anyway, um, Hannah is asking me, or someone is asking, what is on the mannequin behind me? Thanks for asking. This is going to be called My First Cable Crochet Stole. It's a wraparound stole that can be worn as a poncho. I know it's kind of hard. Let me push this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so this is just a stole, but you can wrap it around like make it kind of like a poncho. You can put the two sides together and it can be an asymmetrical poncho, or you can just wear it as a wrap. And I used Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. I wanted to try their yarn for the first time, and I did love it. I do love this stuff. This is so nice. And I designed it specifically. Let me go ahead and bring this back down. I designed it specifically for people who maybe are intimidated to try cables, or who are new to cabling. And so the only cables in it are the elongated cable, and then I do use basket weave, and you do learn ribbing. So those are the three things, and we have wattle stitches. So there are really four things you're learning, but these are very basic kind of things that I use in a lot of my other designs. So if you kind of learn these, then when you see them in other throws and other, wearables, you're like, oh, I can do that. And so maybe you're just learning one or two things in the new other designs, instead of, learning, everything, you know, from the get-go. And I did try to go very slow in the video. And again, you can always change the speed of the video by going onto that little gear-shaped icon. You got to stop the video, and then you hit that, and it brings up a playback speed. You can even slow it down further. That goes for everything on YouTube. But I wanted to have some kind of entry point designs, and I'm working towards, I think, kind of working towards a leaflet to show, yeah, just to put another kind of a book together, but a smaller kind, so that it would be kind of like, I don't even have a title for it yet, but I'm kind of working towards that. I'll be releasing the designs as I create them, rather than, releasing, boom, 15 or 18 designs all at one time, but one at a time, and then I will put them together at some point. Speaking of which, I forgot to tell you this the other couple weeks ago, but since I'm back home, I do have many books. Most of my books are available in my Etsy store. And when you see the price on there, you might be able to get it a couple dollars cheaper from Amazon, but the price that you're looking at on the Etsy site includes shipping. I only ship in the US unless you want to contact me privately, because of the extreme expense. And because a lot of these are printed in your country, it'd be cheaper to just get them there. So I have, just for example, we have 4 seasons of Celtic, cable crochet throws. And I believe there are 6 throws in here. I know there are only 4 seasons, but there are 2 extra throws. Celtic cable throws to crochet. There are 7 designs in here. And all of these have complete video tutorials. Celtic crochet shawls and scarves. And let's see, there are 10 designs in here. Again, 10 designs. I have stitch diagrams for some of the stitches, and for most of the stitches in here. And they all have complete videos for right-handed or left-handed. This is an older book, Cable Crochet Made Easy. And we have 18 designs in here, which is pretty good for a beginning, for someone wanting to learn how to do cable crochet. Easy beginner baby blankets for an absolute beginner. Again, videos for all. And there are 11 blankets in here. This is the first publication ever that I had published through a publisher, Aran Afghans to Crochet. This was published 2009, 2010, somewhere around in there. I think there's one video for one of the throws that I added at a later date, because this was published before YouTube was really a thing. And we have self-striping projects. Again, there are a few designs in here that have a video tutorial, but not all, because again, before the days of everything video. And the same with these 2 books, although these are also, I just want to show them to you. They're in my store, and I sign all the books before they leave. And if you want one special for a friend, I can sign it for that friend and send it to you so you can give it to them. It's whatever you want to do. These are more full-size books, 24 designs in here, 18 designs in here. I have a few of these, a few of each designs from here on my channel with complete video tutorials. But while not all the designs have a specific video, I do have stitch videos. In other words, to teach you how to do the individual stitches on my channel, so you can look those up if you get kind of stuck. So I just wanted to let you know these are available. And since I'll be in town a lot more often, so I'm just gonna keep those up there. This past I guess it's been two weeks ago, I released that video I told you about earlier with comparing the crochet hooks. This past week I released this video. I actually made the video a long time ago, I just hadn't released it. This is called let's see, okay, it's a rotary cutter basically. But they were advertising it on Amazon as a crochet cutter, and it caught my daughter-in-law's attention. And I'm really glad it did, because this is something that if you're a sewer or a quilter, you know all about this. And it's kind of funny. Some of the comments are like, oh, that's just a rotary cutter. And I'm like, well, yeah, but if you're living in my universe, I don't live in the quilting universe. So, I didn't have one of these. So anyway, in this, you get a package of about 5 or 6 straight cutters that connect very easily right here. I mean, it's probably not the the highest in quality that you could buy, but for $13, $14, I think it's a great purchase. And I talk all about this. I demonstrate it, how you can it just cuts right through things. Um, the even bigger magic part of this, also they're very sharp, is what comes in the little package here. And I do go into detail about this more. But you have, for example, this cutter that you can roll over, let's say, a t-shirt. My daughter-in-law does this with sweatshirts. She uses this to basically put holes where she's going to put her crochet hook and crochet a sleeve, and that she's done that a lot for special gifts. They have other, I have to be very careful, other different types, which I'm not exactly sure what they're for, but you can certainly learn about them. But that one particular one that puts holes where you want to crochet into fabric, I just thought was priceless. So, or at least, it was worth $14 to me. Okay, there we go. Got it closed. And I'm just going to keep it in my little package here. Again, very, very, very sharp tools. So you want to keep these out of the hands of little ones, which I have to be very mindful of in my home right now. So anyway, just wanted to show that to you. The video is up, and it's been surprising me. It's doing a lot better than I expected. I didn't really expect a whole lot from that. All right. Question from Yarny Social. How many books on your Etsy make a complete collection? That's a good question. There are several other books that I've published with Leisure Arts that I did not show. I just don't have copies of them right now. I think there's, let's see. That's a good question. I'll have to I think there is about 15 total. 8 of them would be Leisure Arts leaflets, and some of them are small leaflets. If you include like winning at the fair, I think there were about 15, but I don't have all 15 on Etsy. I probably should put some of those others up, but anyway, yeah, there are others, smaller baby blanket ones. There's just a lot. It's just harder to get them from the publisher these days. And shipping, like for example, shipping some of the smaller books out doubles the price. So I mean, the book, you can buy some of them for like $5.99 in the used to be able to in the stores. Now it costs me probably between $3 and $4 just to ship it to you. So it just about doubles the price from the value. So that's partly why I don't bother shipping those, to be honest with you. But good question. Let me get back to the chat here. We've only got a few minutes here. Again, oh, thank you, Yarny Social. She said your watch channel is seriously the best. I love it. Carrie here, by the way. Yep. Hey, Carrie. Yep, I'm Jet 1 and 2. Okay, got it. Thank you for that. The watch channel, for those of you who don't know, it's a separate channel from the YouTube channel. It's on the Vimeo network, and it's only viewable by members, and membership is $7.95 a month or $79.50 a year. Well, what do you get with that? Well, when new patterns are released, you are able to download a copy complimentary of the new designs. There are many other patterns, quite frankly, on there that you could just simply download as well. It's all complimentary as long as you're a member, and you can watch the videos. There are many extra videos that are not on my public channel, some teaching classes, some behind the scenes, some things that I just didn't want public, but wanted it behind a paywall. And all of that is ad-free. There are no commercials on my channel. I have been asked over and over again, why don't you do this? Why don't you do? It's like, nope. I want it to be a spam-free environment. And I also wanted to make it worth your while. So that's why we're offering the complimentary patterns, and in hopes that would, help ease the cost, the monthly fee. But anyway, thank you for your endorsement there. I really appreciate that, Carrie. Um, and let's see what we got here. So glad that you guys are there. Thanks for inviting me out to Boise. I'm so looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing new places in my beautiful country that I haven't seen before. And Hannah is responding to Linda saying, "My heart goes out to you. My grandma passed away late June. It's been hard for our whole family." Yeah, it has. Um, Thank you, Yarny Social, for the hugs and prayers. I appreciate that. Yeah. And Phil, if you get a chance, stop on by Boise. I would love to meet you. That would be so much fun. Uh, we're in Pittsburgh. Just come on in. Um, and Yarny Social says, I'm team inline Susan Bates all the way, but I also think there's a place for tapered hooks for certain projects. Yeah, people have said about that certain types of yarn work better with tapered hooks. I'm inline all the way. I've tried the tapered. I've tried to like them. I just can't. I just can't personally, but I understand, it's definitely a preference thing. And DMS says I'm team taper all the way, and that's totally fine. It's like we're all different, we like different foods, we like different things, and we're all different. And that's what makes it so beautiful. And that's okay with me. Um and yeah, Ola Joe, again, it's so good to have you in the chat. Um and Sever Angel, you too. Let's see. Got people saying hey to each other. That's so cool. And Bonnie says, my mom was left-handed like me and taught me the knife hold. Yeah, it's really whatever you form at the beginning, I think, is what kind of sticks in the end, is what you end up with. Thank you, Linda, for your kind words to Hannah. Oh, wow. She says it's been hard because she's had eye surgery and I can't see very good right now. I'm so sorry about that, Linda. That's got to be hard. And Bonnie also says, I can't afford the furls hooks, but I don't think I would like them. So I was given one as a gift for a commemorative hook for the, I think, 25th crochet CGOA time. And I don't even know if I still have it. I think I may have given it to somebody who liked furls because I couldn't do anything with it. I mean, they're beautiful. Yes, they look gorgeous. They are expensive. And the set that I showed you, like this, are very, very, they're not furls. These are not furls. And anyone who loves furls, I'm sure would say, oh, those aren't furls, but they're very much shaped like it. This did feel pretty good though, because this part here is elongated. And the whole set is less than what it costs for one furl. So this might be something you could look at, but yeah, these are nice. I can use these. You can watch the video and I do compare. I can use these, but I always go back to this. This is my comfort zone. This is my blankie. This is my teddy bear. I mean, this is the Susan Bates soft, even though the handle is not soft. It's, kind of hard, but these are what I don't have to think about it. Any of these others, I still have to think a little bit. But these others, the Susan Bates soft, I'm stuck with the chain ones because that's what works best for me. Anyway, and Phil says those walnut hooks are gorgeous. Yeah, those are really nice hooks. Those are really nice. And I don't have to work too hard to convert. I can convert to those walnut hooks, no problem. I just don't want to lose those things. Oh, I would be aggrieved if I lost one of those. Thanks again, Ola Joe, for the thumbs up button. You are so kind. You are so sweet, girly. Thank you. And Kim, great to have you here. And Hannah was talking to Linda about, sorry about recovering from that eye surgery. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. My brother-in-law couldn't travel for 2 months. He had a really bad problem. Yeah, could not see how he couldn't see his mom before she passed. Oh, yep. It's been a lot going on. Um, you know what? It is after 1, so I do need to go. Let me just look real quick to see if there's anybody I haven't seen in the chat yet. Oh, Jacqueline, great to have you with us, my dear. In Minnesota Rancher. That's the first time I've seen that name, I think. Says most grandmas teach their grandkids to crochet. I don't really like the term either. I'm teaching my 10-year-old granddaughter now. Fantastic. I love it. When transferring it to the next generation is so wonderful. I'm so glad you're doing that. And Trish said, lots of crocheted clothes meant for the young 20s are out there. Don't think they are grandmas. No, they're not, Trish. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I think that was just a oops. Maybe that marketer needs to go back to school and learn a little bit of grace. That's what I mean. I'm not getting back to the thing about Michaels and Grandma Core. I don't think it's one of those things that, oh, we need to boycott. Stop. Don't even go there. No, 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 no. This is a marketer, somebody who's probably never even crocheted in their life, and they're just, they're just trying to do their job and just maybe need to get a little education about what they're marketing. I think that's what that was. But yeah, yeah. And Phil says, no, not a grandma core craft. Matt at Gilded Loop, Mikey Crochet Crowd, Juan the Yarn Addict, Martin up north. Lots of men in this industry now. Yes. Don't need, yeah, they don't need to be wearing that label for sure. And I didn't want it as a 7-year-old. And when I started publishing, I was still in my 40s. So I mean, come on, man. uh, they just need to get a little education. All right. And Trish says, I'm not a grandma. Wonder what Michaels calls me. Learned it when I was 8 years old. Yep, yep, yep. Knitting and crochet has always been associated with grandmas until lately. Well, in the 70s, which was a few decades back, several decades back, it became real big, and all the people I knew doing it were young moms in the home. My neighbor, and that's how I learned not from grandmas. I won't even go there. Learned from my neighbor's mom, young mom in her probably early 30s. But anyway, and Susan says, crochet is a skill and an art. It is a delight for all ages. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Linda. Thank you about your comment about my mother-in-law. I appreciate that. And Ola Jo says she started at 7 and crocheted for years before I became a grandma. Yep. And then Linda says, Minnesota Rancher, I've been crocheting since I was in my 20s. My mother taught me, and I've been doing it ever since. It's so relaxing, and you will love it. Absolutely. All right. I said I was going to try to wind this down, but I just want to chat with you guys. I love what you're posting here. Let me just see. Oh, we have Jesus Joy in the chat. Says maybe they think the only people that are really crocheting are the older people. They have the time. A lot of young people aren't interested. Yeah, but it is true that a lot of people in my demographic, in the older demographic, do crochet. Okay, that is true. But I also have a lot of men in my demographic with my YouTube statistics, and there are lots of other people in the other age ranges. Oh, okay. Hannah's sending me another question here. Hold on a second. From Lisa. Hey, Bonnie, since preseason football season starts tomorrow night, what would you recommend for football fans to make? I'm from Baltimore. Yeah, Hannah sent you a pattern, the My Favorite Sports Team poncho. If you're a Baltimore fan, you're going to have to overlook the colors on this because this was done a while back. Back when and I'm going to say it, back when the team was called the Redskins. And I'm going to go on record as saying that because for the record, that is not a derogatory term. And I want you to know that the emblem originally designed for the helmets and the t-shirts and all that for the Redskins of Washington, D.C., was designed by a Blackfoot Indian. And I have met full blooded Indians at the game dressed in the regalia that represents their heritage, and they love it. I'm going to go on record there and say, just say that. But that said, you can easily change the main colors to the purple, the purple Baltimore, purple and black, white, yellow, whatever. You can just change the idea of my favorite sports team poncho was to be able to make it and your local team's colors. Obviously, I couldn't label that, with my team's name at the time, but when I made that, that was the name of the team. Now they're called the Commanders, and I'm not even sure what that means. So I guess I am revealing my anyway a little bit of passion here, just because I know a lot of the people who loved it the way it was, and I think it was because of a few people fussing is why everything had to change, which I still don't understand. I understand it. I'm not stupid, but I don't agree, is what I want to say, because I know a lot of people who were Native American Indians appreciated that because they appreciated the name the way it was. But anyway, I hope I don't get flagged for controversy on that. I may, but not trying to be controversial, but because of that design that Hannah posted, I just wanted to share my 2 cents worth. I have a picture. I wish I could show you a beautiful picture of my mom with the gentleman who was, I think, a Blackfoot Indian, dressed with the headdress and everything. It was the year before she passed, and she was able to go see her beloved Redskins. And she was, she did not make it. She passed away before the name and everything, all the controversy that changed it. But it's just a very special picture to me. And yeah, it was never a problem for all those years. And then 2020 comes around and all of a sudden it's a problem. But I digress. Anyway, and if you disagree, fine. Let's have a talk. Email me, bonniebantme.com, and let's talk about it if that's offensive to you. I'm not trying to offend anybody, I promise you. It's the last thing I want to do. But I do like truth. And sometimes truth is offensive. Yeah. And let me reading some more about the grandma core. And Randy says, yeah, I don't like the grandma core label either. I know a lot of people of all ages, as well as men, who are excellent fiber artists. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you, Minnesota Rancher says it. I guess the stole behind me, that it looks warm. I think it will be. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to when fall starts to get into the air. It started to feel a little bit like that yesterday, and just the humidity just not being as oppressive. So I'm really looking forward to that. Well, anyway, it is getting late. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anybody. Susan, good to have you with us. Okay. And Hannah, thank you for just doing a phenomenal job today. Well, I wanted to read just a little word of encouragement. I read this morning in Isaiah. I need to find Isaiah chapter 26. And this just kind of hit me, in a way that I really needed it this morning. Was just kind of riding the struggle bus a bit. If y'all know what that's like. And then I'm reading in Isaiah 26. Looks like someone's doing laundry behind me. Sorry about that, the tone. But give me a minute. I have to wait till that song stops playing. Does anybody else have a Samsung? They all sing the same song. Anyway, so in the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, he says, you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord God is an everlasting rock. And I could read more, but I just want to stop there and just, I'll read it again. You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, as the Lord is an everlasting rock. And that is verses 3 and 4 of chapter 26 of Isaiah. I hope that encourages you. And I just hope you have a wonderful week. And just another reminder, I won't be here next Friday. I'm hoping to be there, be able to broadcast the following Friday. I'm not sure on that yet, what our travel plans are, but I hope to be able to broadcast. And if you are in Pittsburgh, don't forget, if you're coming to the Stitchburg in Mars, PA, at the Doubletree by Hilton, August 21st through 23rd, get in touch with me. Email me before you go so I can put you on the list. Okay. Well, anyway, you guys have a wonderful week. God bless. Bye bye.